Oh man. Oh boy, oh man. Can you believe it? Did you see what I did the other night? That Alt Swift X guy, I got his password. I got into his account and I pretended to be him. I put on my very best Alt Shift X impersonation. This is, look at me, I'm Alt Shift X. I like Excel spreadsheets and data. I do literary analysis. That's what Alt Shift X sounds like. And the other night I took over his account, pretended to be him, and and I declared that his channel was becoming a gaming channel. As though that guy could play Binding of Isaac, right? As though he'd have a chance of beating the game with Lazarus on hard mode without dying, which is what we're doing today. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Alt Swift Games, the original, the best. As today we play some Binding of Isaac Repentance. There's an item that spawned right there in our first room, so I think that's a good omen. That's one of the better items, I think. It's the big brown spider fellow. I think it's like Infection Shot 2 or something. This guy in here. But if we want to free this arachnid from his stony ring of rocks, we're going to need a bomb. So, high explosives to save a spider is the name of the game. Welcome everyone to the live chat. I assume we're working here. M. Philo in the chat says it's despicable for me to have hacked Alt Shift X's channel. I think it was the cyber heist of the century. I think they'll be singing songs in Valhalla about my hacker man skills, cause I pulled it off. Ooh, what's this item? Tooth and nail, you feel prickly. I don't know what that does. My guess is maybe if... Oh. Did you see that? I went all spiky. So, do I need to stand still? And then when I'm... Or is it just not a random timer? That's interesting. So just like every few seconds, I just become spiky. That seems like a good power. That's the power of a porcupine right there. And with the strength of a porcupine, I shall overcome all obstacles before me. Oh shit! All right, I took damage, and that's bad because that means I don't get a devil room item. But don't worry, don't even trip. It'll be fine. Yeah, no, hacking into Alt Shift X's account was pretty easy. And it looks like he took down the live stream that I did on his account, which is a shame. But, you know, while it lasted, like I saw some people in the comments were like, oh my god, Alt Shift X is becoming a gaming channel. Like, they believed it. So Alt Shift X must have been shitting himself. I hope he doesn't retaliate. I hope this doesn't become like one of those YouTube dramas you see going on. But if it does, then we can resolve the issue with a boxing match, which is what YouTubers do these days. You know, like the Pauls and the Ksais and them. And if I had to guess, I would say Alt Shift X is a rubbish boxer, while I have an excellent left hook. So I bet it would be a short boxing match. Not that I'm a violent man, you know, unless it comes to Isaac. Alright. First boss. This looks like a variant of the usual Duke of Flies. He's a little bit orange. I don't know what that means. Sometimes, you know, there's like different like color variations of the bosses that behave differently. Like there's more... I think this guy just poops out a lot of flies is what's going on here. But it's nothing we can't handle. Oh, actually, we still need a bomb to get the spider out of the rock thing. I don't know where we're going to get a bomb, because, like, we haven't got enough money to buy one, even if there was one in the shop. And we've looked at all the rooms, so I don't know how we're going to save the spider. This is a real sort of Rapunzel situation. You know, the spidery maiden is trapped in her tower, brushing her hair all day. with her many legs. And the spider needs a Prince Lazarus to come and rescue her. But what's Lazarus to do without some nitroglycerin, you know? Prince Charming is pretty useless when he hasn't got some TNT, which stands, by the way, for tetranitro tetanus. Okay, we've basically just got to pray that we find a bomb. I mean, if I was a real pro dude, I could take this TNT and push it through the door, but you can't push TNT through doors, unfortunately. Schubert in the live chat says, "Sup, I love that you started a dedicated gaming channel. Finally, it was destiny." Yeah, look, I think it makes sense. Like it's not going to be like all the time, but it doesn't really make sense to like stream this on the main Alt Shift X YouTube channel, because I feel like this is mostly going to be of interest to people who like are into The Binding of Isaac. It doesn't really make sense to put it alongside like the Game of Thrones abridged stuff. That's kind of its own thing. So I want to have like the Alt Shift X channel is mostly for Game of Thrones abridged. We didn't find a bomb. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go into the curse room, and if we're really lucky, then we might find something of use in there. But yeah, I think it makes sense. All right, this is really good. I like all these black hearts. I think it makes sense to have a separate channel. Because in my experience, there is... Actually, I might hold on to this pill just in case. Just in case it turns out to be something we can flip into a speed up pill from a speed down pill. Yeah, I mean, in my experience, there is no problem that can't be solved with starting a new YouTube channel. So, you know, that's always my first instinct. If I run out of milk, you know, I just start Alt Shift Milk. If I need to fix a fence, I start a fencing channel. And then I get confused why everyone's coming at me with a rapier. But that's one of those easy confusions that happens when you run a fencing business, you know. So this is Larry and Larry Jr. or something, I think these guys are. And they've got to be one of the easier bosses. Don't they normally poop? Normally they like leave a bunch of poops everywhere, which makes things slightly more complicated. But these guys are just not putting up a fight at all. So that's fine with me, Laz. Larry versus Laz. We don't have a key to go into that room. So all right. So this is how repentance works, is it? Like you need a key or a bomb to get into the door at the end of the floor, and that's just always there as an option if you want to do the alternate path. I still don't have a bomb, Edmund. I don't know what you're coming at me for. Ooh. It's like, God damn it. It's like, when you have a hammer, everything's a nail. Like, right now, I don't have a hammer, and I'm surrounded by nails. I don't have a bomb to solve these bomb-related issues, but I'm surrounded by bomb problems. I'm a goddamn bob-omb up in here. So that's very frustrating. Even this guy's taunting me, because he will explode when he dies, because that color indicates that he's an explodey boy. So the game's really taunting me with what I don't have right now, which is high explosives. Okay, so we can't even go into either of those rooms without a key. I feel like keys are like much more important and scarce now in Repentance because there are so many more ways to use keys. That didn't really used to be the case. Like sometimes you'd end up with like dozens of keys and it's like, what am I going to do with these keys? Call me Captain Keys with all these keys. But yeah, I'm really hurting for keys right now. I learned something about shit. I learned something about keys. So like I'm a deeply ignorant person. I don't know how things work, but I learned how something worked the other day. Okay, I've got a bomb. Because I don't know how to use this bomb. Because I could use it in that challenge room on those chests that open with bombs, but I don't know if that's the best use. I learned something about keys. because like you know what a key is. You've heard of them. You've probably seen at least one key in your life. It's a little bumpy boy. It's a little metal stick with some prongs. It's a little landscape of metal hills, and it goes inside the lock. Which inside the lock there's a bunch of tumblers, and the tumblers need to be jiggled in just the right way in order to open. And there's like a set sort of standard. Oh god damn it! On how the tumblers are arranged. And so the uniqueness of a key, like a key fits a certain lock because it's shaped to tickle the 10 tumblers in a set way, which can be described with like a number. It's like a 6-digit or a 10-digit number or something. I'm like half making this up, but this is my impression of how it worked. You can probably just Google this, but I mean, why Google it when you can get an incorrect version from me? And so like every key, every relationship between a lock and a key is described by a number. And so when a locksmith changes a lock, or when like a new like hotel is built and they're like setting up all the room numbers and the keys and stuff, they've got to pick a number. And they've got to go, this is the number that is like this lock and this key. Oh, we could go in there. Because we couldn't go in there last time. Alright, I'm actually not going to do that right away. Oh, there's a fucking devil room. Let's like that. That's not really worth it. But the thing about locks is that there's this show called Lock and Key, and they make a lot of puns in this show relating to locks and keys. And it was based on a graphic novel about like these kids who go to this big old home and they discover that it's got magic secrets. It's called The Key House, and I started reading the graphic novel to see how it was different to the show, and it's quite different. The town that they are in the graphic novel is called Lovecraft, whereas in the TV show Lock and Key, it's just called, you know, bloody Winchester or something Canadian, just some very generic word, which is nowhere near as exciting. But I mean, I imagine they didn't want to use the name Lovecraft due to like, I don't know, IP trademark concerns, you know? They want people to expect Cthulhu jumping out at any moment. Or maybe he will, because I've only seen the first episode and the first few chapters of the graphic novel. Maybe Cthulhu does turn up. I don't want to spoil you all on that. Fuck. I'm still not sure how I'm meant to be using this porcupine thing. Can I take damage while I'm spiky? While my porcupine mode is engaged? I don't know. Or am I meant to use it for contact damage? Alright, I've lost the black heart. That's okay. I reckon next time I go pointy, I'm gonna run into these... Alright, let's... Nope. Okay. I took damage while I was pointy. Can confirm that doesn't work. Alright, I'm gonna take the... I'll keep the Locust of Death. I'm not sure what the blister does, actually, because it looks very similar to the Callus, which is very useful. Because you can walk over spikes with it. But the Locust of Death just like runs up and kills a monster every now and then, which is like a handy thing. It's a handy thing. Okay, I'm gonna run to this curse room again, and hopefully... Nope. There's the thing about the game, like sometimes you think you're gonna get some treasure, sometimes you just get a room full of spiders. And isn't that just life, you know? Life's like a box of chocolates, except there's like a 10% RNG chance that instead of chocolates is just chock full of arachnids. That's kind of how it goes. I'm still mourning the loss of the spider pal. Alright, actually the library's a good idea. Yeah, I think we're gonna get bookworm actually. Is it bookworm? No. Oh yeah, alright, so bookworm is if you pick up which of these items to keep? Because Book of Invincibility is pretty good. Book of Belial's pretty good. Belial does damage. Ooh. I'll keep the Belial. It's kind of cooler. It might not be better, but it's cooler. Danielle in the live chat says, your video about God is angry at you was pretty great. I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, it was a video by Alt-Shift-X. And I don't agree with everything that Alt-Shift-X says, but that was a pretty good video, I got to admit. Hopefully there's going to be more of that sort of thing. More non-fiction stuff on Alt-Shift-X would be cool, if I'm being honest. Alright, so we'll grab some health and we'll go down into this spooky bunker. Because I think this might be a floor that I... Oh yeah, no, I have been in here. This is the one with all the mine carts and stuff? Yeah. Alright, this will be a good time. Getting a bit Donkey Kong in here with the little minecart races. And Herb... Ooh. I'm hoping that we might be able to get through this without taking red heart damage so that we can get a devil room. But it's probably not likely. It's probably not realistic. There's probably going to be some stuff that jumps out in a way that I don't expect. And there's not much you can do about that. The tick, that item there, reduces bosses' health. Which is like handy, but you can't take it off. Because it's a tick. Once it gets in, it sticks. That's why they call it a tick. Ticks are notoriously sticky. They really put the tick in the sticky, you know what I mean? Oh, we got another little fly. I think the death one's better. So yeah, ticks are a worry. I heard there's this kind of tick. Because what a tick does is it attaches itself to you and it sucks your blood and your nutrients and all of your important juices in order to nourish itself. It's like a kind of a vampire, like a leech. Ooh, little cute magma people. That's cool. So that's what a tick does. And so as the tick feeds on you, it grows fatter. Ooh, damn. Took some damage. And as the tick, like, eats your gizzards for its breakfast, lunch, and tea, it grows fatter. Like you ever see a leech that's like, you know, swollen red with blood? Ticks do the same thing. And so it's essentially turning your meat into its meat. Because as it grows, it's not as obvious, but you proportionally shrink. Oh, damn it. Oh, it stole my item charge. I get it. That's what those little yellow flies do. They steal your item charge. So my point is that, like, you know, when like a tick or a leech is like growing larger from eating you, you are growing smaller, like, you know, slightly, but you are growing smaller. And so you know, theoretically, if a tick or a leech just like kept having breakfast from you for long enough, it'd get bigger than you. And then I ask you, who would be the tick and who would be the leech? Because if it is bigger than you are, and instead of it being a tiny little thing that's attached to you, you just become a tiny little thing that's attached to it. And then where does that leave you? You know, epistemologically, who's the person then? What if it grows so big and you grow so tiny that eventually you're not walking around with it on you, it's walking around with you on you. You're just like attached, just like taken for a ride. I'll be horrified. This sounds like you know Metamorphosis by Kafka, where this guy grows. He just wakes up in the morning and discovers that he's transformed into a giant hideous bug. It's a bit like that. Maybe that's what happened to him. It was one of those ticks. All right, I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna pick it up. Play-Doh cookie, tasty rainbow. Yeah, it's made my tears all colorful. It's pretty, but what does it do? Surely it does something, but I don't know what. Oh dear, what is this? Yeah, I don't like this at all. Wait, why didn't I take... Did I just get hit and not take damage then? I mean, I'll take it, but I'm not sure why. Was that because of the spiky thing? Oh, does the spiky pinecone power, does that protect me from some kinds of damage but not others? Is that what's going on? Oh, some of the Play-Doh tiers are fiery. That's cool. Man, there are so many things going on that I don't understand, and I love it. See, why is that guy all frozen? Oh, okay, so that must be what the Play-Doh does. There must be like freezy Play-Doh and burny Play-Doh. I didn't know that's how Play-Doh worked, but I can get behind that. I need to buy some Play-Doh. It's been too long since I've played with some Play-Doh. Alright, a battery boy would be pretty grand, but I'm actually going to buy the soul heart to give me a better chance of getting a devil deal. I mean, strictly speaking, that's probably a bad purchase, because as you can see in the bottom left, I've only got a 6% chance of getting a devil room. Ooh, Hornfell. Oh no. This is going to be fucked, isn't it? He's coming from every which way. How can I fight? Oh, he's got pals as well? Oh my... Ah! Okay, this is going to go badly. What was I saying? Oh, I really apologize for talking about ticks and leeches before, because like I'm trying to get the image out of my head and I can't. So yeah, that was regrettable. But that's the thing about Binding of Isaac. Like, it's just full of creepy crawlies and like gross things. What? How? Why is it going so fast? Is that a glitch? Whoa, this guy has so many different behaviors and attacks, and I don't know how to react to them. And it's... What are those? Are they landmines? Okay. They're laser landmines. That's great. That's great. I should really... I really don't regret installing this game. This was such a good idea. I should probably try to hit him more, but I am kind of enjoying looking at all these attacks. I still have a chance of getting a devil room. Oh, can he hurt himself with those lasers? Because that would help me a lot. That would be great. It really is getting very Factorio up in here with all of these train tracks. Okay. I think that super high speed thing is a bit fucked, if I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't know what the speed limit is around here, but it's, is that it? What? Oh, there's a second... What's happening? What was that? Why did he change and then... Oh, is that a stapler? Damage up. I'll take that. Alright, that was a very confusing and upsetting experience. So I think the game is working as intended, because this is Binding of Isaac after all. Okay, we'll grab a bit of health, we'll grab some explosives, yeah, we'll also grab that key. Could have been a bit smarter about that, but whatever. I can't say I love these goddamn magma stone people, but maybe that's just me. Alright. There's some discussion in the chat that it might actually be a great idea to become a man tick, you know, to become a tick-sized human on a human-sized tick. And I can't say I agree, but like, if that's the lifestyle you choose, then I wish you all the best. Alright, look at these pro skills. Whew. Whew. Ate some pills, hurt myself. Average Friday night. Let's go in the curse room again. Like, again, strictly speaking, I've got a lot of health. Probably shouldn't be stepping into these curse rooms. But there's a golden chest, so maybe we will have a good time. Binky, Tears Up, and a Soul Heart. Excellent. Because those, that Tears Up is going to multiply by that stapler that gave us some damage. So with the power of a stapler and a pacifier, our enemies will cower before us. I am enjoying the Playdough. I like all these status effects. It looks like the ice things shoots out projectiles that also do damage themselves, which is cool. Is that meant to be like a soy milk spider? Because there's an item called soy milk that makes your tears like super high paced, and it's like a line of tears. And it looks like that's what those spiders are shooting. So maybe those are spiders that have had too much soy milk, you know? I saw a YouTube video about that once. It seemed very scientific. Okay, alright. So, we've cleared out the floor. I'll have another look in the shop. There was a battery boy in the shop, wasn't there? So we'll pick up the batteries. We haven't actually used... hang on, did I use the Book of Belial when I fought the boss? Because that would have been really silly if I didn't. I actually might have not done it. Alright, I've got to remember to use it. But otherwise, we survived. Let's move on. Let's try and win with Lazarus. Does anyone remember what the conditions are for winning with Lazarus? Do I have to beat Blue Baby, or can I just beat Isaac with Lazarus to unlock the new character. I don't know what the rules are. Whoa, what are those rocks on the ground? They look bad. Yeah, they must do damage. Okay. Lucas in the chat says, "Hey Swifto, how's that positively masochistic experience that is repentance treating you?" Yeah, it's a lot. It's not quite as punishing as okay, I take it all back. It's punishing. It's not quite as terrible as like I heard some people say. I mean, I'm yet to see like the endgame bosses. Like, I'm imagining they will be a nightmare. Oh, we're gonna get bookworm. So once you pick up 3 books, you become bookworm, which means some of your tiers become double tiers. So it's just like a straight damage up. It's great. Here's a pill. Range up. That is also really good. We could do with some range. Should we give some bombs to this bomb guy? I'm kind of curious to see what he might give us. I imagine some of these... that's pretty useless. That just drops a bomb. I imagine that might be some of the sorts of things that got rebalanced in Repentance. Because like I didn't find myself using bomb beggars, whatever they're called. Bomb beggars and key beggars very much. They seemed a little bit useless. Could have done with some tuning, you know. Alright, more of these pinata lads. One of these inflato guys. Sort of like a pufferfish, isn't it? It's really an allegory, actually. It's an allegory on the dangers of ego, because if you let your head swell up too much, you might pop. Don't get too big of a head. Don't get too big for your boots. Make sure that the ratio of the size of your head and the size of your boots is proportional. Because if your head gets too big for your boots, then how are you going to fit your head into your boots, you know? That is how you wear boots, right? See, that was kind of shit, because there was no way I could see that coming. That seems like unfair damage to me. Like with this darkness effect, like, come on, that was kind of silly. Breadmond, please. Let's just use this tower card, because why not? What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, you've really got to be like paying attention like visually for those like underground effects and stuff, especially when it's dark. In some ways, the game has been made like more visible with the dangers. Like some dangers like more flashy and more obvious. But some things are like really sort of stealthy, which I don't love. Also, it looks like when my Play-Dough freezes the enemies, it makes them more resistant to damage. Like they withstand more damage when they are frozen, which is kind of lame, but they shoot out those shards afterwards, which I suppose makes up for it. I don't know what the fuck this is meant to be. It's a little meat chariot. It's a little steak wheel. It's a rotating protein snack, which is not how I usually take my protein snacks. I'm not sure if I approve of it. It actually reminds me of in His Dark Materials. So we haven't taken any red heart damage. So if we beat the boss with no red heart damage, we could get a devil deal. But like, I don't think I'm likely to do that. And then I took the damage. Oh no, yeah, all right, whatever. No, the little meat man remind me of in His Dark Materials book 3. I think it's in book 3 of His Dark Materials. They go to like this dimension where there's this world inhabited exclusively by animals who they don't walk around on legs. They have wheels, but they're like naturally evolved wheels. They're like these coconuts that they like hold in their sort of like evolved hands to act as like wheels that like rotate within their hands, and they speed around like little Paleolithic motorcycle club members, and it's really cool. And I think Philip Pullman was interested in it from like an evolutionary sort of angle. And that's what these guys remind me of, but like a lot meatier. And that's meatier with an E, not an O. I'm not talking about comets. Okay, Cricket's body. I like this item a lot. Because it just means you don't have to aim. It just means there's a lot of splashing going on. And I always approve of some splashing. Diplopia doubles everything. Trinket Smelter. None of that is very useful right now, so I'm going to keep on rolling. I'm seeing a lot of I'm seeing a lot of sacks in the shop, and that never used to be the case. I'm not really I'm not really inclined to purchase a sack for 7 pennies, because sacks like sometimes have great stuff in there, but like usually not anything that you need. So, oh hey spider buddy. I'm sort of standing back because, like, I'm terrified of what's about to come out of the spider. I don't know what's about to come, but I think we're okay. That was some pretty pro dodging, because ultimately the spider just cannot withstand the power of my Play-Doh. That's actually there was actually a alternate chapter in the Lord of the Rings. Oh come on, really? There's actually an alternate version of a chapter of the Lord of the Rings where Frodo and Sam defeat the evil spider Shelob with booster pack. Oh, cool. They defeat the evil spider Shelob not with the power of Galadriel's file, but actually with Play-Doh. It was actually a sort of a sponsorship brand deal thing that J.R.R. Tolkien had worked out with Mattel, who were taking off. Oh, you're really just gonna... Okay. Alright, so I can go in there now. So, like, Mattel was like, hey, like, J.R. Tolkien, we're trying to promote this cool new product called Playing Dough. And Tolkien was like, Playing Dough? That's such a terrible name. Why don't you call it Play-Doh? And the Mattel guy was like, J.R. Tolkien, you're a genius. Why didn't I think of that? Alright, we're going to use what's called a pro gamer move in a minute. Alright, look at this. I'm going to take the stars card. I'm going to leave it out here for safekeeping. And then I'm going to use the hearts card that turns everything in the room into hearts so I can get some health back. And then I can pick the stars card back up. See that? That's what's called a TM pro gamer move. I think the reason why that hole is shaped like that is that it's meant to look like a grave, which is pretty upsetting. All right, Curse of the Labyrinth, XL Mausoleum, let's go. There's a lot of like homing psychic fellas in this floor, I believe. Okay, this is a pretty powerful build. Like the bookworm plus the Play-Doh plus the cricket's body. This is actually pretty good. I didn't know that thing was going to explode like that. But no, this is going fairly well. I need to remember to actually use the Book of Belial. Oh, they changed. Oh no, homing lasers, really? Really, Edmund? I do not like this. Sam, I am. Sam Gamgee, I am. But yeah, that's a really little known fact about the history of the Lord of the Rings. And I can see why they removed the Play-Doh element from the Shelob fight. Because like it does sort of distract from the flow of the sort of, you know, and the tone of like the mythical feel of the Lord of the Rings. When Sam Gamgee just stops in the middle of the scene and then looks straight at the camp. What? Oh, I can't fire while I'm inside the aura of the skull guy. That is cool. I like it. That's interesting. Because it really ruins the flow of the Lord of the Rings when like Sam is just like, hey Shelob, you might have a lot of legs, but you're no match for Play-Doh TM. Especially the green color. Now comes in yellow. Alright, what should I pick up here? So like, I don't like... Some of these bomb upgrades would be nice, but like it doesn't really synergize with anything, and like I don't really need it that much, so I'm gonna pick up this random thing. Random buddy. That's okay as well. Like that's kind of on theme with the Play-Doh. Oh, teleport. Okay, that's fine. Because the Play-Doh is just lots of random colors, and that's basically what the Rainbow Buddy is as well. If you told me a while ago that there would be teleports in The Binding of Isaac, I'd tell you, don't pull my leg. You trying to pull a fast one on me there? Okay, what? Alright, I just ran right through those. I would say you're being absurd. Don't be absurd. But you know what? Teleporters, pretty natural fit. What am I meant to be doing here? How am I meant to be able to... Oh, am I meant to lure the... Okay. It's a little pubble. I love pubbles. So... Alright, I think that's what I'm meant to do. Yeah, look at that. This is some 5D chess. Okay, so... Yeah, we used the crunchy boys to crunch the buttons and escape. Reminds me of a really bad night I had in the club once. I needed a lot of crunchy boys to escape that labyrinth. And we've got a golden chest. We've got a golden key, which means we can unlock anything. We've got infinite keys for this floor, which is in Afterbirth or whatever it's called. They just look different. Alright, I'm going to use a bomb to get some of this money. And then I'm going to... Might as well play a little. I wonder if they rebalanced the slot machines. Because the slot machines were like kind of useless. And it looks like they still might be kind of useless. Alright. Using some tactical puke to get some tactical health. Someone in the chat likes how I pronounce Isaac. How do other people pronounce it? Isaac? Actually, yeah, that's probably how other people say it. That's how they say it in the opening cinematic, isn't it? Isaac and his mother lived alone in a small house when suddenly there were spiders. I'm an American. I speak about spiders. But yeah, I say Isaac. Which is probably where the name Zach comes from. Well, no, Zachary, or like Zachariah is where Zach comes from. But I'm sure you can call an Isaac Zach. Or you can call them Sack, but like I don't think anyone wants to be called Sack. Oh, Sack? But like I don't think anyone wants to be called Sack. Oh, how's the audio balance, by the way? Like, should the game sound be turned up or down? Should the voice be turned up or down? I sort of fucked up when I hacked into the Alt-Shift-X YouTube channel the other day because the voice volume was like not boosted at all, so it was like really low compared to the rest of YouTube. But I've turned up the voice now, so I think it should be better. Let me know if the audio needs tweaking. Soul Heart, grand. I'm gonna leave the Soul Heart there until we can reach the boss, because actually here's a pro gamer move for you. I want to get to that golden key, so we're gonna step very delicately between these spikes, and now I'm gonna back out, and now I'm gonna drop another bomb to get the card. Actually, why didn't I use the stars card? Judgment. Alright, let's use Judgment. Great. We'll give this little beggar man some coinage, and maybe we'll get something in return. Because that's why you donate money, right? Is for the hope of a return on your investment. Whenever I give money to a busker, I'm telling them, you know what? Your tuba playing, it's good. I see talent. I see promise in you, kid. If you keep tooting that tuba on this street corner for another decade or two, I could see you becoming a professional tubist any day now. They'll call you Tubular Jones, because the way you tuba just needs to be seen to be believed. You know that's why they call it YouTube, right? It was originally a tuba-only video streaming platform, and any video that wasn't exclusively about tubas was deleted automatically. It was only when there was actually a glitch in that algorithm, that tuba detection system, the TDS. It was only when the TDS malfunctioned, and for one day, the early YouTube was free for non-tuber videos to be uploaded by accident. And because of that omission, brains should not bounce. Please stop bouncing, brains. Because of that omission, that's how YouTube became, well, wildly successful. Because for one day, all the all these people were uploading videos of cats instead of videos of tubers. There was one video though of a cat playing a tuber, which I tell you is not an easy thing to do when you haven't got lips. But there was this tuber playing cat that got like 1 million views, and this was back in like '99. You know, this was back when 10 views was pretty impressive on YouTube. So this tuber playing cat just like absolutely went bonkers on the old interwebs, and made the founder, Jack YouTube, a whole bunch of money, and that's why we have YouTube as it is today. I believe that the original video of the cat playing the tuba has been taken down now, unfortunately. Oh, I get it. So the enemies, once they're frozen, they like count as dead, like they have been defeated. So you can just stop firing on them then, or you can continue to fire on them, so that you get the shards to damage the other enemies. That makes sense. Man, these teleporters are pretty neat. Like I was skeptical about the teleporters. The only kind of TP I approve of is toilet paper, usually, but I can get behind these teleporters. I also kind of like the redesign of the void enemy spawning purple things as well. I'm not really sure what this whole situation is about. Like, why is there electricity jumping over to those fellas? Is that just what the nun does? I never worked out what Blacktooth does either. So many things I didn't understand even about the base game. Tell you what I will do though. I'm gonna bomb my way over to that chest, because I have a golden key, I might as well use it, even if it only wants to give me new kinds of flies. They keep coming up with new kinds of flies all the time. I actually worked at a fly marketing agency for a couple of decades before I started doing YouTube stuff, and they were always telling me, Swift, what exciting new kinds of flies can we bring to the market? What kind of flies do people need? Do we need flies with stripes on them? Do we need flies that can speak Portuguese? Do we need dairy-free flies, gluten-free flies, for the nutritionally challenged? Like, how are we gonna move more flies? And I always told them, like, you know, Jonas, the flies move themselves. They're flies. And then we'd have a big old laugh and clap each other on the back and go off for lunch. Had a lot of good lunches at the fly marketing agency. Did not sell a lot of flies. So it's honestly a wonder that they kept me on for as long as they did. Ooh, nice. Double car battery. So every time we use an active item, it activates twice instead of twice, which is what I call once. Of course, the car battery would be more useful if I was actually using my active item, which I have been neglecting. I've got this wonderful Book of Belial to increase our damage, but I've been forgetting to use it, because you always want to save it for the boss, but I should be using it more often. Okay, the stars, I don't really need that, but I mean, might as well, because from here we can go and pick up some health on the way back. It's all groovy. Yes, that notorious hacker known as AltShiftX. Don't tell anyone, but it's me. Alright, so let's go fight the boss. What's happening in the chat? Vilecore in the chat says that Blacktooth adds a chance to fire a Blacktooth that poisons enemies. Oh yeah, so it's a poison thing. That works. That makes sense. That's on theme. Someone in the chat says that the game might be a little bit quiet, but that's fine though. Yeah, I sort of want to err on the side of the game being a bit quieter than the voice, because the game could be like very annoying. Like if there's a lot going on in the game, you might end up with a whole bunch of irritating noise. So yeah, I figured that's what you want to be slightly lower. Alright, we're ready to fight the boss. We've got a 20% chance of a devil deal. If I was really playing more pro, we would have gotten a lot more devil deals and we'd have like a much crazier build, because that's kind of the secret to getting strong in this game, as far as I am concerned, is just to avoid red heart damage, get boss rooms, and get devil deals. But alas, unless we've got some real pro dodging here, it's going to be a bad time. I like this like summoning animation, is pretty fun. But it's not easy to deal with. I don't remember what this guy's attacks are. Oh, it's that. Now I know. The more you know, huh? God damn it. See, once I've beaten these bosses enough times, it'll be like the back of my hand. By which I mean I will dodge everything. Oh, it's Mum already. God damn. Alright, so is this just regular Mum? Like, is regular Mum unchanged? Oh, no. Regular Mum has changed. She's got lasers now. So we could go into the alternate womb. That's kind of cool. So to unlock the new character, who do I need to beat as Lazarus? Because I don't know if I need to beat... Like, I'll just take the Polaroid, because, you know, I want to get... How do I get in there? Weird. So many mysteries to unlock. Alright, regular old... Wait, Scarred Womb 2? That said Scarred Womb 2, didn't it? Why aren't we just in Scarred Womb 1? Scarred Womb 2. What? Is that a glitch? Normally you do 1 and then 2 and then you're out. I do not understand that at all. Let's give away some coinage. Hopefully we'll get something good. And like, what else am I gonna do with my coinage? Because like, as you well know, not much use for money in the womb. I don't know about you, but when I was in the womb, I had all these pennies and tuppence and threepence and nothing to spend them on. So yeah, might as well get rid of this coinage now that we're in the womb. Alright, let's... Oh boy, there's a lot of stuff to dodge. The problem with Cricket's body and all of these like splash damage tiers that are going everywhere is that it makes it more difficult to see the enemies. When the whole room is filled with crazy like raver Playdough tiers flying every which way. Can't really dodge very well. But that's just the danger of raves, isn't it? It is notoriously hard to dodge a punch in a rave, because with the lights everywhere. Okay. We're losing a bit of health, but I think we're doing okay. I think we will. I'm confident that we'll beat It Lives, which is the heart. I'm confident that we'll beat. I'm fairly confident that we'll beat Isaac in the cathedral, as long as Isaac hasn't been changed too much. But I don't know. I'm not so sure if we'll get through the chest. All right, I'm gonna keep the stem cell because a little bit of health to fill up these heart containers would be great. Oh, the Emperor, that will help a lot. We'll just like skip the whole cathedral. It'll be great. I'm still confused why. Confused why we skipped so much of the womb. Normally there's 2 floors of the womb and we only did 1. I don't get it, mate, but that's alright. So we're gonna kill It Lives, and then we're gonna skip the cathedral with the... Ooh. If we were any slower. Oh, we did it. We unlocked Bethany. Fantastic. Alright. We got the new character. I have never played Bethany before. So we will do that on the next stream, I think. How exciting. Alright, so... I mean, alternatively... Actually, no, Curse of Darkness. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna skip that. Now we're up against Isaac. I'm going to use the Book of Belial, which I keep on forgetting to use, and I reckon Isaac is going to go down like a redwood in a... I was gonna say something crass, but we wouldn't want that. Goddamn. Go down like a frog in a well. Because, you know, frogs, despite their amphibious nature, are as affected by gravity as the rest of us. So I assure you that in a frog, a frog in a well would go down. Why did I just get a heart then? A red heart just spawned on the ground. Alright, don't question it, just eat the heart. Okay, we're in the chest. We're in the final floor, which I think is, you know, it's the last floor that I'm aware of, unless there's some final boss somewhere. Oh, Proptosis. That is very strong. I like it. This is new. It looks horrifying. It looks like an eye, like a cluster of eyes. I saw more eyes. Oh my god. You know how I was complaining before about there being tears everywhere? Going every which way, all different colors and directions. Yeah, it looks like we've got a lot more of that now. We're just filling the room with tears. Which again, very thematic. But a bit of a pain in the ass. But yeah, no, this is a strong build. This is fine. I think we won't have troubles with the boss, Blue Baby. I think this is going grand. Look, we've got all this spare health on the ground. All these hearts and nowhere to spend them. See, that's a new boss that I'd never seen before, and it's gone before I can even fight it. So, you know, I'm not saying I'm, like, too good to experience the content of this game, but, like, you know. Someone in the live chat says that Proptosis got nerfed. Yeah, what's it called? Proptosis, is that the name of it? It's the tiers that are, like, super high damage when you're close range, and then, like, a bit less damage when you're further back. Does the Devil stack with Book of Belial? Because it would be pretty cool if it did. So I think we might use that for the boss. Okay, these guys are a bit spicy. Can't say I'm enjoying the flavor right now. If this is Flavor Town, I am requesting expedition, being expedited. Expeditition. Is that a word? Expeditition? Like the noun of expedite? Expeditition? Flat file, no more spikes. Well, that sounds all good and well, but I haven't seen a spike in a while, so I'm not too concerned about that. Okay, alright, I am going to use the Book of Belial if I come across anything hairy, such as a Sasquatch, or my great aunt Ednadon, who was actually part Megalodon, thus the name. So if I find anything hairy like that, I will use the Book of Belial for that extra damage. But otherwise, I think we're pretty cruisy. This is the first time I've fought the Bloat in Repentance. 2 of them, no less. And you know what? It's going fine. It's going fine. Everything's under control. And when you're feeling like that, that's exactly the moment that, everything's about to go disastrously wrong. Schubert in the chat says, do you have a link to your merch store? I am in the market for some pro gamer gear. Yeah, well, look, as I said, I've been speaking with the fine folks at Gamer Fuel Meme Gamer Energon Accessories Incorporated. They can get me. They've got a supplier already for some QT Neko themed gamer headphones. And I think if you put a great big Alt-Swift X logo on that, I think they would sell like hot cross buns at a hot cross bun store. So I mean, you know, it's a possibility. There's a suggestion of Alt-Swift bathwater in there. Look, I mean, I got the supply. We just got to connect it with the buyers. I'm in the bath right now. I only stream in the bath. It's the only way to stay appropriately cooled while I'm just blazing away at this Binding of Isaac, you know. I can't game outside the bath, so that's what we're doing. I've also got some orthopedic anti-RSI arm guards with like sort of Tonka truck fire stripes on them to help you game faster without getting repetitive stress injury. That's important. So we'll start selling those. I think some Playdough would be great. Some Playdough in like Alt-Swift X green. And you know, we don't Like officially, the lawyers told me that I can't recommend that you eat the Play-Doh for legal reasons, but I can tell you from personal experience that Play-Doh is fucking delicious. All right, so final boss. I think this is going to be the end. I'm using all the buffs I've got, and this is just a Play-Doh apocalypse that is flying right at this enemy. This is a tsunami of dough. Like if you baked a cookie from this dough, your mind would be blown. You can't even. Oh, you see that? So normally the game would end here, but here is the portal to the void, which, as of the previous DLC, was the final enemy. So it's the hardest thing in the game, and we're just gonna jump right in. We're doing it. Might get our asses kicked, but we'll see what we can do. Because Delirium like teleports all over the place and is really hard to hit normally. But fortunately, we have mega Play-Doh carpet bombing facilities at our disposal. We just paint the landscape in dough, which makes it pretty easy to hit things. So I'm thinking the Delirium won't be too much trouble for us. Ringworm, what's that? Oh god, that is a nightmare. That is a kaleidoscope of damp dough. I don't. It might strictly be better because like it's gonna hit. Well, I think Cricket's body does more work this way. Am I crazy? I feel like there's more tiers like this than there is like this with the ringworm. Oh no, that looks pretty good. The only trouble is that there's less damage. Oh, all right. We'll try it out for a bit. I think the ringworm. Oh, that looks pretty good actually. Oh, but less damage is bad. Like I don't want to get my ass kicked by Delirium because we didn't have enough damage. So, all right. Let's just see how it rolls. I guess I have to sort of aim more without the ringworm. It'd be nice if we could have both trinkets because there are ways to get 2 trinkets. But alas, the fates are... Oh wait, we're flying. We're Lord of the Flies. I didn't even realize that we can fly. Whipworm, kind of useful, not as good as the damage. That's one of the risks of Binding of Isaac, is that sometimes you just go with like whatever gives you the most DPS, which, you know, makes some of the more interesting and like diverse gameplay options less commonly used, which is kind of a shame. Alright, I just ate that damage like I was at a damage buffet and I was famished. There's a really good rap lyric in there. Damage, famished, Spanish, radish, havoc, if you're feeling a little bit bendy with your rhymes. Samage, you know, I was famished, so I ravaged a sandwich, and spoke Spanish through my sandwich, so I was spraying salads. See, everyone should rap, is my opinion. Like I'm not even gonna like rapping's just fun. Everyone should do it. It should be like a mandatory class in school. Like if they're gonna force you to learn trigonometry, they should force you to learn to write raps as well. Oh, that's a new trinket. Myotosis, forget me not. What is that about? Myosotis. I mean, see, that's the trouble. Like, I want to try out the new stuff, but it's probably not as good as damage up. Like, that's 2 extra damage to my current 9. I mean, I'm no mathlete, but I think that's a pretty significant upgrade. All right, let's go in here. Because that's the other thing about Delirium, like the floor is huge and there's like multiple boss rooms, and only one of them contains Delirium, but you don't know which until you get in there. And this one is not Delirium. This boss is sometimes annoying with the spikes, but since we're flying as the Lord of the Flies, that's a non-issue. I bet Edmund McMillan, the developer of this game, was pretty chuffed when he came up with the Lord of the Flies name for the transformation when Isaac picks up lots of fly items. Because that's that reference to that story about those kids who run amok on an island without any adults around, and they just start eating each other pretty rapidly. I haven't actually read the book, but that's what Lord of the Flies is. And like it's a nice reference for Isaac, particularly seeing as he's a child, and he's kind of running amok. Oh well, no, I mean amok is running on him. It's his mother who started this particular beef. I mean, unless we get a prequel. I mean, what if we got a prequel to The Binding of Isaac told from the perspective of Isaac's mum, and we start to sympathize with her and understand why she decided to murder her son? Like, maybe he was leaving Play-Doh everywhere. Like, I wouldn't want to be whoever's cleaning up all this Play-Doh after Isaac's done with it. And I've got a hunch that it's not Isaac who's going to do it. Because Isaac, we take his side. We think, oh, it's Isaac. He's the best. He's just well-intentioned, and all these horrible things happen to him. Maybe he's just a really just inconsiderate, like, irritating child who's just, like, putting crayons in each other's noses and in other people's noses and just, like, weeping Play-Doh onto the walls. Lots of... Are they champion wormy boys? Is that why they were colorful, or were they a different kind of enemy altogether? So many different colored enemies. There are items that like increase the frequency of the colored champion enemies, but I haven't got any of them. Oh, I just ran right into that guy. Did I fart when I got hit? Is flatulence a side effect of having a spider jump on you? That actually probably happens all the time. Like if someone's surprised, oh, we need to stop walking into damage. That was bad. If someone's like surprised, oh yeah, we lost our soul hearts. If someone's surprised or shocked, that is probably an occasion for a fart, I would think. When you're jumping like that and your whole body's like seizing up. So I imagine it's probably very common for people to jump when, oh, all these flies are on our side. Cool. And we've got Skylove, Scatoli. I wonder what Scatoli is. I'm sure that I don't want to know. A lot of the items in Binding of Isaac are named after like real like medical conditions. Like a lot of the sort of obscure words, like they're not just made up words. They're real things, of course. And some of the inspirations behind these items are like really horrible, like medical conditions of the eyes or of the body, and it's really distressing stuff. Especially one of the baby followers that shoots tears in two different directions. And I'm not even gonna name it because like you don't want to Google what it is. Like some of it's upsetting. I know that Isaac is like on the surface, like kind of obviously sort of dark and gross and weird, but if you dip deeper beneath the surface, it gets even more gross and weird. So if you're into that, I invite you to dig deeper beneath the substrate into the beating, squishy gizzards of this particular piece of art. Because it is a piece of art. Like, this is one of the most artistic video games that I know of. And at the same time, it's one of the most mechanically rich and complex. Well, maybe complex isn't the right word, but there's like a lot going on, There's a lot to know, there's a lot to think about, there's a lot of different ways the game can be played. And there's a lot of freaky stuff that can happen. I just ran right into that, but it's fine. There's hearts around we can go back to. It's a good game, is all I'm saying. Someone should really make a video explaining like the lore. Because if 3 million people will watch a Cookie Clicker explained video, I'm sure there's a market for a Binding of Isaac explained sort of a video, especially now when the final DLC just came out. But as someone who doesn't make video essays, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know who's going to do that. Okay, so we've fought like 8 bosses in here and we still haven't found Delirium. Surely the next one will be Delirium, and that's not the gambler's fallacy. That's straight maths. Because there's only so many doors. I would like to pick up that Eternal Heart. Well, actually, I mean, that Eternal Heart isn't all that valuable because, oh, we've got a Soul Heart for it anyway. You've always got to wrap your Eternal Heart in a protective sheath, otherwise you might suffer unforeseen consequences. Okay, I'm pretty sure All right. Sorry, Archimedes Arsenic in the chat says, can you summarize the story of this game? All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to explain the story of Isaac while I kill this spider. Okay, the spider's dead. Whoa, what is that? Mrs. Mega? Mama Mega? Because there was a Mr. Mega item. Now there's a Mama Mega item. It's probably going to be very destructive. And I'm going to use it now and find out. Because the way it works in the previous game was that you use it once, and then it does that. It just blows up in every room that you step into and destroys everything like that. I like the new effect. I'm not sure how it's like mechanically different to Mr. Mega, but like, hey, let's find out. I really like the new, like the shockwave. That looks really cool. And it is just as wildly overpowered as Mr. Mega ever was. So I'm digging this. This kind of makes the entire level a cakewalk, huh? Is Mama Mega even more destructive than Mr. Mega? Like, I don't think Mr. Mega destroyed rocks and beggars and stuff. So maybe alright, Delirium. Final battle. Let's do it. Mama Mega did not do much at all. Actually, was it Mr. Mega and Mama Mega? Or was it always Mama Mega and they just changed the sprite? I might have just changed the sprite. Alright, Delirium is taking some damage. This is going pretty well. Taking more damage than we have. I'm pretty confident. Did they nerf Delirium? Because this is going really cruisy. Maybe our build is just really good. But yeah, this is happening. I think this is the first Delirium victory in Repentance. Once we land the last hit. And there we go. We have beaten Delirium in Repentance for the first time. With Lazarus, we unlocked Bethany. I think this was a unreserved success. This was a no hold barred 100% perfect pro gamer play. I don't know who this Northern Lion egg person is, but you know, I'd be pretty impressed if he could do that with a Scatoli on his head. All right, here's the final cinematic, and yeah, Isaac is having memories of his happy or unhappy childhood. While he suffocates in a chest, which does sort of undermine the victory tone that I'm going for here, because it's a sad story. It's horrible. We're watching a child suffocate, but I want to end on a good note. So we're going to skip that, and we're going to wrap up the live stream. Thank you so much for watching Ultra Games. We were playing Binding of Isaac Repentance. This was the second episode. We're going to do some more in the future. So yeah, tune in for that. Subscribe, press the like, do what you want to do. Thanks for joining in. Cool. Randy in the chat says that the Playdough strat is a pro gamer play. I completely agree. When in doubt, reach for some Playdough. With those words, goodbye.